If you think eating every few hours keeps your metabolism alive, you've been misled. If you think skipping meals slows your metabolism, that belief is exactly what's keeping you metabolically trapped. Because when you stop eating for 23 hours, your body does not panic, it switches systems. And almost nobody alive today has allowed that switch to fully activate. Right now, your metabolism is running in storage mode, constant delivery, constant insulin, constant energy traffic, fat cells sealed, repair systems silent, cleanup postponed. This is the modern metabolic loop. Food arrives before the previous load is processed. Insulin rises before it ever has the chance to fall. Energy flows in, but it never flows out. Your body adapts to what you repeatedly signal, and constant feeding signals storage. But when food stops arriving, something rare happens. Insulin collapses, fat cells unlock, alternative fuel systems activate, and internal repair mechanisms that remain dormant in constantly fed humans, begin to switch on. This is not starvation, this is metabolic reallocation. Your physiology was built for cycles: feast, fast, repair, repeat. Instead, most people live in permanent feast mode. So today, we are not discussing ideology. We are not discussing weight loss myths. We are walking through the 23-hour physiological timeline, hour by hour, to see exactly what happens when the trucks stop arriving. Because once you understand the sequence, hunger stops being frightening. It becomes mechanical, predictable, controllable. The clock starts the moment you finish your last meal. Hour 0. For the first 4 hours, nothing dramatic happens. Your stomach is full. Digestion is active. Glucose enters the bloodstream, and insulin rises to shuttle that energy into cells. As long as insulin is elevated, fat cells are sealed vaults. Energy flows inward only. In this phase, fat burning is biologically suppressed. This is not a failure, it is design. But this phase cannot last forever. And once insulin begins to fall, the real shift begins. Let's start the clock. The clock starts the moment you finish your last bite. Hour 0 to 4. Nothing dramatic happens. Your stomach is full. Digestion is active. Glucose is entering the bloodstream. Insulin rises to manage it. Insulin is not evil, it is essential. But it has one strict rule. When insulin is elevated, fat burning is locked. Think of insulin as a one-way gate. Energy flows into storage. It cannot flow out. During these first hours, your body is prioritizing what just arrived. It stores excess glucose in the liver and muscles as glycogen. That's your short-term reserve, easy-access fuel. You feel normal here, stable, fed. This is the phase most people live in permanently. Hour 4 to 8. Blood sugar begins to normalize. Insulin slowly declines. The external fuel supply fades. Now something interesting begins. Ghrelin rises. Ghrelin is the hunger signal. It doesn't mean emergency, it means expectation. Your body has been trained to expect food at certain times. When that time arrives and food doesn't, ghrelin spikes. You feel it as restlessness, a slight drop in comfort, maybe irritability. This is the first psychological wall. Most people interpret this sensation as danger. It isn't. It's habit withdrawal. Hour 8 to 12. Now glycogen stores start to decline. The easy cash is being spent. The liver releases stored glucose to keep your blood sugar stable. Your body is not panicking, it is calmly using what you already saved. This is where metabolic flexibility begins to matter. If you have lived on constant snacks and sugar, this phase feels unstable. Energy may fluctuate, focus may dip briefly. But if you hold steady, something shifts. Insulin drops further. And when insulin drops low enough, the body gains access to a different fuel source: stored fat. This is the moment most people never reach consistently because they interrupt it. A snack, a coffee with calories, a small bite. The system resets. But if food truly stops arriving, insulin reaches baseline. And when insulin clears, a key enzyme activates, hormone-sensitive lipase. That enzyme unlocks fat cells. For the first time since your last meal, energy begins flowing outward instead of inward. You are no longer running on what you ate. You are running on you. And this is only the beginning of the switch.
Hour 12 to 16. This is where the real shift begins. By now, glycogen stores are nearly depleted. The short-term wallet is empty. Insulin has dropped to baseline. The storage signal is gone. And when insulin falls low enough, the body stops thinking about storing energy. It starts thinking about survival efficiency. Fat cells open. Triglycerides are broken down into fatty acids. These fatty acids enter the bloodstream and travel to the liver. There, something powerful happens. They are converted into ketones. Ketones are not a backup fuel. They are an alternative system. Your brain cannot burn fat directly. It requires glucose or ketones. When ketones rise, the brain adapts quickly. And unlike glucose, ketones burn with less metabolic waste, less oxidative stress, more stable energy output. This is why around hour 14 to 16, many people report something unexpected. The hunger fades, energy stabilizes, mental clarity sharpens. It feels counterintuitive. You have not eaten for half a day, yet your focus improves. That is not magic. It is evolutionary programming. If a hunter became weak and confused when food ran out, he would not survive. Hunger needed to increase alertness, not suppress it. Your biology remembers that. But something deeper begins around this phase. As insulin remains suppressed and nutrient signaling stays low, the body detects a different problem. There are no new amino acids entering the system. Cells still need protein, so they start looking internally. This is the early trigger for autophagy. Autophagy literally means self-eating, but it is not self-destruction. It is controlled recycling. Inside each cell are damaged proteins, dysfunctional mitochondria, fragments of viral material, and metabolic debris. When food is constantly available, the cell postpones cleanup. When food stops, cleanup becomes priority. Cellular waste is wrapped in membranes, broken down, and recycled into usable components. You are not wasting away, you are repairing. This is the difference between starvation and fasting. Starvation is forced energy deprivation without fat reserves. Fasting is voluntary access to stored fuel with a functional metabolic system. By hour 16, your body is no longer negotiating. It has fully switched fuel sources. Insulin is low. Fat oxidation is active. Ketones are rising. Repair signals are increasing. You are no longer in storage mode. You are in optimization mode. And most people interrupt this process right before it becomes powerful.
Hour 18 to 23. Now we reach the phase most people never experience. Insulin has been suppressed for hours. Ketones are elevated. Fat oxidation is stable. But something else rises here that changes everything. Human growth hormone. When fasting extends beyond the easy fuel phase, your body releases a powerful counter-regulatory hormone designed to preserve lean tissue. HGH spikes dramatically during prolonged fasting. Its job is not cosmetic. It protects lean muscle mass. This is where one of the biggest myths collapses. People believe that if they don't eat, their body will immediately burn muscle. That is backwards. Muscle is expensive. It is strategic tissue. Your body protects it. When insulin is low and HGH is elevated, the body preferentially burns fat while preserving muscle. You are not cannibalizing yourself. You are reallocating resources. This combination, Low insulin and high growth hormone is rare in the modern world. Constant eating keeps insulin elevated. Elevated insulin suppresses fat release and blunts HGH response. OMAD creates a metabolic environment where these two forces reverse. Fat becomes accessible, muscle becomes protected. But the real power happens inside the cells. Autophagy deepens. Damaged mitochondria are dismantled. Misfolded proteins are broken apart. Inflammatory fragments are cleared. Cellular efficiency improves. This is not a detox myth. It is controlled intracellular recycling, and it only happens when nutrient signaling drops low enough for long enough. Now you approach hour 23. Your cells are insulin sensitive. Receptors are primed. Your digestive system has rested. Inflammation markers are lower. Energy is stable. This is where many people sabotage the entire cycle. Because after 23 hours, the body is absorbent. If you flood it with processed sugar and refined carbohydrates, insulin surges violently. Blood glucose spikes aggressively. You crash. The metabolic switch flips back to storage. Instead, the refeed should follow logic. Protein first. Amino acids rebuild tissue. They support repair. They reinforce muscle preservation. Then fats. Dietary fats sustain stable energy without explosive insulin spikes. Then micronutrients. Minerals, potassium, magnesium, sodium. These prevent fatigue, headaches, and electrolyte imbalance. This is not about punishment. It is about rhythm. Hunt, repair, rebuild. Most modern humans live in permanent storage mode. Constant insulin, constant feeding, no repair window. OMAD interrupts that cycle, not by starving you, by giving your body time to access systems it was designed to use. You are not slowing your metabolism, you are training it to be flexible. And metabolic flexibility is what separates fragility from resilience. Hunger is not an emergency, it is a doorway. Most people never stay long enough to see what's on the other side. That is the difference.